Mailman brought me a new box set. Let's take a look. Alright, so this was a pre-ordered item that I ordered a few months ago, and it came in today. And of course, it's one of those bands that I really like, and I went overboard. Well, not really. So I bought the vinyl edition, of course, and that comes in a box set, and I don't recall whether there was any vinyl edition without the box set. But of course, with this particular band, I've bought most of their box sets in the past. Anyway, the band I'm talking about is Demon Hunter. Now, some people, I have seen some other people in the VC talk about this album some, because the digital tracks were released a while back, and then while the items were shipping, and so people have kind of reviewed them. We had a sample of a couple of the songs way back when we pre-ordered them, so a little bit of stuff has been trickling out there. So this is the box set. Demon Hunter, if you're not familiar, they are a Christian band. They are a band that would be probably classified by most people to be in the metalcore. I've heard them called nu metal. They started around 2002-ish. The first album or two were a little more harsh and aggressive, and then they kind of plateaued out where they went with that, the harsh, vocals mixed with the melodic vocals. It just seemed like it became a little more, palatable at times for people who are not into the extreme harsh all the time. Anyway, it's just one of those bands it's one of the few bands in this metalcore, if you want to call it that genre, that I really took a liking to. There are probably a couple more that I probably appreciate, but this one I have latched onto and purchased everything that they have, and grabbed all the vinyl releases and most of the deluxe box sets and all that. So I grabbed this. Anyway, what this is though, so starting way back around the third album or so, they would release like a regular edition and then a special edition with the second disc that would have a DVD or something, and there'd be bonus tracks. The typical stuff that bands do. They make a second edition so you buy it again, but you get extra tracks on it. And they started doing this like one or two acoustic numbers where they would just strip down one of their songs and play it acoustically.
I am a stone unaffected, rain held down onto me, flesh and bone unaffected, you're a fool I will not be.
And they did that quite a few times over the years on these releases, in the box sets, things along that line. Well, what they did this time around is they went back, and some of those same songs they've done in the past, they redid them all. So this is actually called, even though it's, the name of the album is so Songs of Death and Resurrection, it's also referred to as Acoustic Translations, kind of a subtitle. So it is songs that they've done in the past, but it's stripped down. Now, some of these songs might have been the mellower songs, some of them may not have been. So it's really neat to hear this interpretation. And like I say, some of these have been done in the past, but these have been redone.
That I won't buy, though it's me to blame, there is no more shame in me.
Now, it's listed as recorded live last year in 2020, but then they did some other studio work on it. So I'm not saying that this would necessarily be a genuine live album. I kind of get the feeling it sounds very much like a studio album. There's no audience or anything. But they went into the studio and probably recorded most of this in just one take. And they sound flawless. They sound like studio tracks. I don't know. I couldn't tell they were live. I just read it in the book. But anyway, let's take a look at it. This is I've had the digital tracks for a couple weeks. They sent the digital tracks out for pre-orders. So I have listened to it and love it. It's neat to hear some of the lyrics that maybe you weren't as familiar with in the heavier songs. But the, I don't know. It's just a beautiful album. And I don't know. It's really great. So first off, let's take a look at the actual record. So the cover is the same as the box. It's kind of got this, two different dark and angel and death looking thing. This is the Demon Hunter symbol that's on every album. It's kind of a demon head with the bullet hole in the middle. They have all the, every album has a different rendition of that, and then it's got strings on it for acoustic, so kind of neat. Inside, kind of generic, and the back is white. It is a double record set. The inner sleeves are pictures, and they're basically just the cover. Totally backwards. The cover art, a little blown up. It is on a color, kind of, you know, green and white. Not really splatter, but kind of a blur, kind of a green and white looking. Darker on some and lighter on the other. I have given it a listen. While it sounded great musically on digital, it, of course, to my ears sounds amazing on the vinyl edition. And then the box has like a 26-page book that's really just the lyrics with photos in between. So, you know, it's pictures of them in the studio and stuff. Standard fare for this type of release with lyrics and all of that. And then it also includes the cover art, like a 24 by 24 poster. And then this is something they've done in a lot of their deluxe sets, which I have to admit so far have only been CD sets. This is the first one that's the vinyl deluxe, but it has similar thing. It's got these 5 pieces of individual artwork. And they're just, they've done this in other releases where they've had these artwork pieces in them. So, yes. So that's what it is this time around. And like I said, I pre-ordered it months ago and glad to see it finally came out. It's just some great stuff. Like I said, it's acoustic, it's mellow, it's just, and it's at times it's really beautiful. And they've got orchestrations and stuff, you know, some additional instruments. It's not just like a guy and his guitar. There's drums and stuff. It's the full band, but it's stripped down, great stuff. Anyway, check them out. If you're not into the heavier music, check this out. If you're into Demon Hunter's heavier music and you think you'll be turned off by this, check it out. You know, it really speaks to you on a different level, at least to me. I would just suggest checking it out. Anyway, excited to have this. Looking forward to giving it additional spins. Just wanted to share that great stuff. Check it out. The new Demon Hunter acoustic album. And that's all for now. So, talk to you later. Rock on, rock hard.
You will find me there where I have always been. I am a stone, unaffected. Rain held down onto me. Flesh and bone, unaffected. Your fool I will not be. I am a stone.